spinning like crazy. It's getting milder. The milder it gets, the more slippery it gets. Why? Because when you're slipping, you're actually hydroplaning, even on ice. Okay, come on. I can't even get going here. There's no snow to grab. What you do is when you're stopping or starting, you can see the lane is very clear here. You straddle it. Get your tires onto the snow, onto the hard-packed snow, and you gain traction. This intersection here was a three-way stop when I started working at the garage. The road I just came off of was a gravel road. So it was a four-way stop with one of the four was a gravel road that wasn't even an all-weather road. It was more of a dirt road from a farmer's field. And this was all farmer's fields here. And that's like 25 years ago. Now it's built up like crazy. This used to be a two-lane road. In fact, this was a two-lane road when I left the garage about 15 years ago. Still a two-lane road, and half of this stuff, most of this stuff wasn't even here 15 years ago. Pulling in, you can see there's a building on the right there. That's actually our warehouse that wasn't here. This used to all be houses, actually, and the company bought the houses and rented them out until they could get the clearance to develop it into a industrial setting. So the building on the right's warehouse, the building on the left is the automotive department. Yep, that is the fleet garage. All this parking used to be trucks. Every last row of it were trucks. Trucks and more trucks. So, now, see if I can see door number 16. Those are 16-foot high doors, and door number 16 there, that is the wash bay. The little door there was put in after I left. That actually goes into the parts counter. This door 17 used to be a working paint booth. You can see the ventilation on the roof. Number 18. It's behind this little metal building. That was used to be the diesel shop in the back corner of the building here, and now it's the metal fabrication shop, which has joined in the garage as things downsized a bit with the way things are going. And then we had the door at the back here, which was always a straight shot in. See, you can see it's door number 7 there, but it's door 19 on the building. It used to be a straight shot in for semis when we had semis. So let's take a little ride around the parking lot before we go in. Harass these guys. I'm going to take the camera off the mount here, so bear with me for a minute. I'm don't think any of the vehicles left here are going to be ones that I worked on. Well, actually there are. I can see some. This would have been a locator's van. They go out and locate underground stuff, and the fleet had several of those. This back building here, where they do custom cable cuts. And they need a length of cable to do repairs or whatever. They pull it in and cut it. There's one of the bucket trucks. We did hydraulics and a lot of different things. Okay, Ford 52. This is the old fleet colors, and the first time they changed the logo. But the one with this one here with the lines on it wouldn't transmit well over the internet, so they thinned it down, and then they've gone to where it's now 3 separate letters again. So that's a Pitman pole cat. It's used for placing poles, and these are kind of like surplus vehicles now. This one's been around forever as well. So was that one. And the Grumman, which was a real piece of crap. I don't know why they bothered with that. They figured it was a good idea. For a while, this was the way we used to do it. That blue stripe is reflective all the way around. The decals for the logos and the numbers also reflective. So our vehicles stood out very well. And this would be one of our cable splicers trucks. The ladders on the sides, and we used to, amongst other things, with the mechanics would sometimes be putting ladder racks on and putting all sorts of equipment, ladder racks on the pickup trucks. And we had guys called utility workers that did that kind of stuff. And of course, a compressor. This would be a reel carrier that has a hydraulic motor on it, and you can actually roll the reel up and it'll pick up a big reel off the ground without needing any tractors or forklifts. And these trailers actually have to be inspected annually because of their weight by the provincial government, requires us to do so. These are cable reel bunk trailers. The bunks have hydraulic cylinders in them to lift the reels up, and there's the pumps and levers there. And also, because they're so heavy, you can't crank the jacks up and down, so the tongues actually will raise and lower hydraulically to hook them up, because they're heavy trailers, especially when they have a reel on them. There's one with an empty reel on it. And then we get into the bunch of the vehicles that are in the fleet for whatever reasons. And the guy I used to crew chief for, there's one of his semis right there. M. Serco Trucking. He worked here as a mechanic, and he also has the contract for hauling stuff for the company since the company got rid of all their semis. So these are larger generators. 773 was a truck that went to diesel sites, but all these are emergency standby generators. You can see on the front how big they are. 60 kilowatts, 150 kilowatts. Not all of them are labeled like that. There's another 60 kilowatt. Then this one that looks a little bit like a horse trailer has an old 1928 Pontiac stake truck in it. That is used for parades, and that's where they store it and haul it. So most of these vehicles are ones that are newer. See, we also own a company, pt1 Alarms, so they when they joined the fleet, we started, or joined the company, we started maintaining their vehicles as well, and their logos were changed, and the rainbow's on there, but it's all red. Truck number 45 was in the fleet when I was here. Any of the gray ones were, basically. There's an old small boom truck. Pull over near the front door. Okay, and here's the east side of the shop. First door, when I was here, it has a hoist now, but it used to be the tune-up bay, and it actually had a chassis dynamometer as well. Number 24 is the front end alignment bay. Number 23 is the first two hoists, and they're a twin post hoist, so you can change them for wheelbase, and they're for, you know, up to about a 3-ton truck, I guess, or a 1-ton truck. Bays with the doors number 22 and 21 there. This one and this one. This one has two larger hoists, and they're both different sizes. Number 22 has a hoist on it big enough that'll hold a highway tractor. And bay number 21 here has only one hoist, and it's big enough to pick up a transit bus or a semi or whatever. Bay number 20 was where we did trailers, and when I worked doing small engine repair, that's where I parked. And as you can see, they plug in from the back. And that is so they can back in, and you notice that they're all backed in. And this one, obviously, for whatever reasons, doesn't have the plugs at the back, or they've done something differently with it, because they're all plugged in from the back otherwise. An old pt1 Alarms. So there you have it, folks. There's the outside of the shop where I worked as a mechanic. We did everything all the way from highway tractors. We used to even have a couple of cats that they were used for cable plows, which put in underground cable. But reserved 24 hour. Okay, I'll just park by one of the doors if I can. And I can. I'll park right where the empty jugs are that are recycled that have oil in them. Empty 45-gallon drums only. Yeah. Park where we want, when we want. It's kind of the way things are done around here. Okay, so let's go inside and see what shit we can get into.